Hey, Steve Stine here again, and what we're going to be talking about next is making sure that you understand the blues, the fundamental element of blues. Now, why? Okay, you might be asking yourself, hey, I'm not a real big blues fan, but I'm telling you, living in this world, playing guitar and everything, blues is a great style of music to learn how to improvise with and jam with other musicians with and all kinds of different things like that, because it's a really great platform to develop guitar skills. It's amazing. And what we're going to be talking about today is the setup of what makes blues blues. We call it a 12-bar blues. We're going to be talking about this 12-measure system that we can start using the pentatonic scales and all that sort of thing that we've been learning along with. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about this 12-bar blues. Now, in order to do this, what we need to understand is there's 3 chords that make up the 12-bar blues primarily. We call them the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, which means it's the first chord in whatever key we're going to be in, the 4th chord in whatever key we're going to be in, and the 5th chord in whatever key we're going to be in. Now, I don't want to, again, push a bunch of theory on you. That's not what this is about. It's just to understand that those 3 chords, that 1 chord, that 4 chord, and the 5 chord, are absolutely essential to music and to guitar playing and all sorts of different things like that. And so these 3 chords, what I want to do is show you what it looks like on the fretboard, and then I'm going to show you what the 12-bar system looks like. So let's say, for instance, we were going to be in the key of C. Now, we're not going to get all crazy on keys and all that sort of thing, but please understand the key of C, if you went to the piano and you played all the white notes, you'd be playing the key of C. And what that means is the key of C has no sharps and no flats. It's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's all it is. In music, the only notes we have are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We don't have like an H or a Q or an L or something like that. So when we're trying to figure out the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale, all we're using are those 7 notes over and over and over. And some of them might have sharps and some of them might have flats and things like that. We don't want to deal with any of that right now. We don't want any sharps or any flats. So what happens is if I play this on the guitar, and again, I don't want you to really worry about this, but I just want to show you what it sounds like. If I play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, that's not the scale we're worried about today, but I want you to listen to it as I play it, and you'll hear the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, that scale is the scale that gives us all of these wonderful chords that we use in various songs and styles of music. So if we were to look at the key of C, what's the first chord in the key of C? It's C, okay? We have a C, therefore the first chord is C. The second chord would generate a D chord of some sort. The third chord would generate an E chord of some sort. The 4th chord would be an F of some sort, and the 5th chord would be a G of some sort, because we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Well, we want the 1, the 4, and the 5, which is C, D, E, F, G. Now, if you've never done this before, you're going to go, wow, that looks very familiar because I've probably done this in a million songs, but let me show you this. If I was to play C here as a 6-string bar chord, it would be at the 8th fret of the 6th string. That'd be a C. The 4 chord is F. Well, conveniently for us, the F is located right underneath there on the 5th string, right there, on the 8th fret as well. So we have the 1 chord, which is C, the 4 chord, which is F, and the 5 chord up here, 2 frets higher, which is G. So C, F, G. Well, if I put those 3 chords together, they make all sorts of songs that you've heard before, okay? But here's what I want you to see that's even cooler about that, is if we were going to be in the key of G, for instance, and again, we're not going to get all involved in what the notes of the key of G are and blah, 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 but it would be G, A, B, C, D, E, and so on, moving down the line. So G would be the first chord, which we want. A would be the second chord, because remember, there isn't an H or something that comes after G. It just starts all over in the musical alphabet. So we go G, A, we don't want. B, we don't want. C, D, G, C, D. Well, G, C, D. What I want you to notice is when I play the 1, 4, 5 in the key of G, visually, it looks the same as the key of C. It's just in a different spot on the guitar, but I'm going from the 6th string to the 5th string underneath it, and then 2 frets higher. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Okay? Now, no matter where I go on the guitar, what's cool about the guitar, and this is what I'm trying to get to, which is really important for you, is when you play this 1, 4, 5, which is going to become this 12-bar blues chord progression that we're going to talk about, the key doesn't make any difference. Okay? All you have to do, if somebody says, hey, we're going to be in the key of A playing blues, you go, where's my A on the 6th string? It's right here. 4 is here, and 5 is here. 1, 4, 5. If you're going to play in the key of F, 1, 4, 5. So for us visually as guitar players, we just go to whatever key we're supposed to be in on the 6th string, key of G, or key of D, or key of B, or whatever. We plant that first chord, 1, 4 is underneath, and 5 is 2 frets higher. Okay? Now, the pentatonic that you've been working on, let's say you were going to be in the key of C, for instance. Well, we're going to come up here to this 1, and this 4, and this 5. And where that 1 was, that's where your pentatonic scale is going to be in, which you've been working on. Okay? If we want to be in the key of G, we're going to hike all the way back here to the 3rd fret. 1, 4, 5. There they are. And your G scale, your minor pentatonic, your G minor pentatonic is going to start right on that G. And if you've been learning some of your other positions across the fretboard, those would just connect like they always do. 2nd position would connect to 1st position, and 3rd position would connect to 2nd position, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what's really cool about that is you learn how to play the pentatonic by visualizing it on your fretboard, and then practicing it, of course. Well, the 1, 4, 5 works the same way. You just visualize it. 1 is up here, wherever you want to be. 4 is underneath it, and 5 is 2 frets higher. Now, there's a million different ways you can do this on the guitar, but let's start with just 1, okay? Now let's talk about the 12-bar blues itself. Now, 12-bar meaning 12 measure. It's a very common way of playing a blues chord progression, and I'm going to keep telling you a little bit more about why after we learn it, and you can start jamming it a little bit. That way you don't have to listen to me talk the whole time. So the 12-bar blues is broken into 3 segments. 3 segments of 4 measures. So there's the first segment, the second segment, and the third segment. So we have 4 measures, 4 measures, 4 measures, which equals 12 measures, okay? So the first section is just going to be a 1 chord over and over and over and over, okay? So we're going to be playing whatever key we're going to be in. Let's say we're going to be in the key of C. We'd play a C for 4 measures. Then we get to the second grouping, which is another 4 measures, and this one's going to go to the 4 chord twice, and then the 1 chord twice. So the 4 chord in the key of C would be the F, and back to the 1 for 2 measures. Then we get to the last 4 measures, and this is what we refer to as the turnaround. Now this is where we finally get to the 5 chord, so it's going to go 5, 4, 1, and then the last measure does all kinds of different things, but we're going to play a 5 right there. So it goes 5, 4, 1, 5. Listen to what that sounds like. 5, 4, 1. And I'm going to put that all together now and let you listen to it. So if you got your guitar with, go ahead and just strum along with me. I don't care if you play a power chord or a bar chord or whatever you want. Okay, you can play these as power chord. Doesn't make any difference, whatever works for you, okay? But let's play together. So I'm going to holler out the chords as we go, but I'm not going to say C, F, and G. I'm going to say 1, 4, and 5, because I want you to learn to think about this as being 1, and this is 4, and this is 5. That way you're not trapped in the key of C. You could play in G. You could play an F. You could play an F sharp. You could play an A, because your 4 is just underneath it. So the key doesn't make any difference. We just move across the fretboard to wherever it is we want to be. Okay, let's try it. So we're in the key of C. We're at the 8th fret. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. And you've got this in your handout as well. It'll have the 12-bar blues written. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 4 measures. 2, 3, 4. Now we go to the 4 chord. And back to the 1. 5, 4, And that's the basic setup of what we refer to as a 12-bar blues. Now, why do we want to learn this? Well, first of all, you've just learned how easy it is to move this around. And then just click on your pentatonic that we've been learning, the minor pentatonic, just click it on to whatever key you're in, and you're running, you're off and running. What makes this so cool is, what makes different blues so different than other styles of music is that it's universal. Like every guitar player, every musician on the planet knows how to play a 12-bar blues. It's a language that you and I can share. So when we get together and we want to jam, I don't go, so do you know how to play Enter Sandman? And you go, no, I don't know how to play that, but I know how to play Master of Puppets. And then I go, I don't know how to play Master of Puppets, but I know how to play Carry On Wayward Son. And you go, oh, I don't know how to play that, but I know how to play Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. Blues is just a generic thing that we all jam to. So everybody gets together in a room and says, hey, let's jam to some blues in the key of G. Okay, let's go. So that's why it's really important to learn how to do that. Now, does every musician on the planet do that? Of course not. I don't know every musician on the planet. I'm just saying in my line of work of playing with many, many musicians, I have to be able to jam with people, right? I might go to watch a band play somewhere and they invite me up on stage. Well, if they invite me up on stage, chances are in a matter of 30 seconds, we have to figure out a song that I know and a song that they know. And oftentimes what you'll wind up doing is just picking some blues song because everybody knows it. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or if we're getting together for the first time and we just want to kind of jam and kind of feel each other out in terms of, the music that we play and the grooves that we have and things like that, it's very common for something like this to happen. And plus, aside from all of that, it's really fun. Because if it's just you and somebody else hanging out and you just want to kind of make some music together, your drummer could be playing or, your bass player and you, or somebody could be singing. And the last part I want to say about that, and then we'll get into this, is the 12-bar blues. What makes blues so unique versus like rock or metal or country or jazz or something like that is when you say rock, it means a million different things. When you say, rock can mean AC/DC, and rock can mean Green Day, and rock can mean the Rolling Stones, and rock can mean the Beatles, and they're all vastly different from each other. The blues, there are certain grooves that when people say blues, they're talking about. And they're most certainly talking about this progression. Now, is this 12-bar blues, is this the only progression blues people use? No, not at all. There are songs that can be bluesy. They sound bluesy. They've got a blues groove. They got a blues feel. But they might not be the 12-bar blues setup. But if you go back and look at artists like B.B. King or Stevie Ray Vaughan or Buddy Guy or I don't know if I said ZZ Top or, any of these bands that do a lot of blues things, you're going to see 12-bar blues all over the place, okay? So with that in mind, with that 12-bar blues sequence, what I want you to think about a little bit, let me find my jam track here. I'm going to grab one here. Now this one, I want you to listen to this for a second. 1, 2, 3. And that's a jam track that you're going to be able to play along with, and it's a 12-bar blues. It's just a standard jam track, and it's in the key of C, and it's a 12-bar blues. And what you could do then is you could take your pentatonic that you're learning how to play, and you could just plug that in over the top of that, right? So we'll take that first position here. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Again, I'm just goofing off here, but that's what I'm saying is if you and I were jamming together and you said, hey, let's jam a key, blues in the key of C, I'd be all about it. I'd be playing. Well, that doesn't mean I can't play metal or rock or, whatever it might be. I can play all kinds of different things, but I know this language. I can always know it better, right? I'm learning just like you are, but the point is that it's something that I can relate to with you, and we can make music together with it. So learning how to play this 12-bar sequence is really, really important. So I want you to practice that a little bit, and have some fun with the jam track, using that with the pentatonic stuff that you've been learning as well, and see what you can do with that.